Hello, this is WWE Hall of Famer Mick Foley, and if you want to catch up on the latest in amateur and Olympic wrestling, there's only one podcast to listen to. Subscribe to Baschamania, the Baschamania podcast, and have a nice day. Yeah.
Welcome back to another episode of Baschamania. This is episode 77, and Roman Bravo Young is back on the show today. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, be sure to subscribe wherever you listen. Apple, Spotify, Google, Stitcher, Overcast, wherever you listen to podcasts, be sure to subscribe to Baschamania. And if you enjoy this episode, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts.
It's Baschamania! Let me tell you something, brother. He gave us everything he had in him tonight. What you gonna do when Baschamania runs wild on you? Oh, it's gonna be a good one. And business just picked up here on the podcast. Oh, yeah.
And we are back. Roman Bravo Young, back on the show. How are you, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. It's not just your friend, but as a wrestling fan, you've sure provided some entertainment over the last couple of months. You got to be one of the most active collegiate wrestlers on the scene right now.
Yeah, I only got a short window to do this. I gotta use my platform while I can.
And it's funny because you obviously were just in the Flow event and you beat Jack Mueller, I think 8-1. And one of the first things I noticed at that event is how much you're still in shape. How are you staying in such good shape? So many people look rusty and, not their best. You're looking like peak RBY. How are you doing that?
Yeah, I'm always working out. I'm always traveling. People keep up with me. I'm all over the map. And I spent a lot of time out there with Juan Archuleta and TJ Dillashaw. We were just working. We don't mess around. That training lab stuff, some good stuff. And we were grinding. Juan's getting ready to fight, and I was just training with him alongside his camp. I think his fight got pushed back a little bit, but we were hitting mitts, wrestling. I was going with Joey McKenna. We were doing jiu-jitsu, and so I was just moving. I just always find a way to work out no matter the circumstances, and that's quarantine stuff or COVID's not holding me back.
And I want to talk about training with Sebastian Rivera in a minute, but to that effect, like I see you at the training lab in California. I see you in Arizona. I see you in New Jersey. I see you all over the place. Are you reaching out to people, or how are you making all this happen?
Well, see, everyone that I work out with, I've been cool with a while. People just don't know like who I'm cool with. I just don't make it out there known. But no, I mean, everyone wants to work out, and we just come together and make it happen. Like, I know you saw my tweet the other day, and I mean, there's no ego when I'm working out with someone I lost to. Like, if anything, I'm gonna pick his brain, learn, and he wants to ask me questions, and just little things like that. Like I was saying that I'm cool with everyone. I help grow my brand. I'm cool with everyone. Don't have problems with anyone, and it's lifelong relationships. Outside of wrestling, we're hanging out, we're going out, we're eating together. Like, we're just having a good time doing what kids do. Outside of wrestling, like wrestling, just a small thing we do in our daily lives. So I think some people probably take that stuff too serious.
For sure. And I want to talk specifically about Rivera, but, to touch on the Flow event real quick, because I know you were recently just training with Mueller. Like, how was it competing when, you haven't competed here in an actual match in, 5-6 months? What was that like to be back on the mat with a referee, competing, doing your thing out there?
I'll give props to Flow. They got a little backlash and stuff lately, but it was a fun event. The lead up was amazing. The videos, the promos, they really focused their social media platforms on us and grew my brand. And this the lead up was fun. I was excited to wrestle. I wanted to compete. My last match was against Rivera. I lost, so I was just itching to get back on the mat. I was out there training so much. I wanted to see where my training was at. And I broke my toe, so I had a little adversity. Like back when COVID first hit, I had broken my toe, so I was pissed about that. And then it was just ups and downs. I was still mad that the season was canceled, so I just wanted to get on the mat and just see where I'm at. Put on a show. I didn't care win or lose. Like I didn't get any money off that stuff, so I'm just out there doing it because I love to do it. I mean, yeah, I know it's good to get paid and all, but at the end of the day, if you love something, you're gonna do it no matter what. I think the lead up was fun, and it was
Dude,
just a good time.
I just watched a podcast or a YouTube video yesterday, and Dana White was saying that Joe Rogan, who just got an insane Spotify podcast deal and makes a ton of money, he did his first 15 commentating gigs with the UFC for free. People don't realize everybody's afraid to do what they do for free because they're worth money. Like, yeah, you're worth money, but when you do it for the love of the game, your passion shows, and it only leads to more money in the long run. You're not leaving it on the table. And I think you're a good example of that. Like, the whole conversation of college kids making money is one thing, but I think you have the right perspective of you're not just doing it to get paid. You're doing it because you want to put the sweat equity in building your brand. You want to do what you love. And I think that shows when you step on the mat.
Yeah, and then like just little things like that. And then like going off that, like I had a good performance, and guess what? 50 emails, 50 calls. Let's come to camp, And I'm like, guess what? That's more money in my pockets. Let's do it, So I'm just everywhere, I'm just out here wrestling, hustling, grinding, just like a normal kid. And the way I see it is like, I only got so long to do this before I got to get into the real world. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man.
So I'm just enjoying it, making as many connections as I can, and just trying to inspire other people.
And you mentioned that your last match in college right now was your loss in the Big Ten Finals to Sebastian Rivera, and you spent last week training with him. How did that come about? What was that like?
Well, he's always been my boy. So, and if you watch that last interview Flo did on him when he was out there training with Alvarez before that match, he said, we actually talked about it in one of the car rides. He was like, when I go out and wrestle everyone, I hate all of them. Like, they're all dead to me except one person, and it was you. He always had respect for me, and the feelings mutual. And we just hit each other up on Instagram. Was like, yeah, like, yo, let's work out. And then when we hung out at the Jersey Shore, we were in Seaside. We're on the boardwalks. We're just having a good time and doing what college kids do. And then training hard. And then that led to Mueller hitting us up. So, and then now other people want to come. And then it's just like an ongoing thing. We got Shane Van Ness to come out. And it's now everyone wants to come do it. And like, it just grows, you know what I mean? So then that's why I tweeted that tweet. I was like, look, we all just come together and just scrap it out, and everyone has a different feel. Like, why not? What are we afraid of? We're afraid to show what we're good at. Who cares?
Was that a natural thing for you to do, to drop your ego and say, I don't care if I lost a match. I think, hey, because I lost a match, he can help me get better. Like, was that a natural progression for you?
Bro, I don't care. Wrestling is least of my worries. I think people it's put me where I'm at today, but it's not that serious. It's a sport. We do it because that's what we love to do and what we're good at. But I think social media gets things twisted up a little bit. I mean, that's also just going off of Kale's mindset. It's just wrestling. We're going to get more matches, so can't really dwell on the past. And I think, honestly, just being out here, he's really changed my perspective on wrestling, and it makes me enjoy it more and realize the value to life.
Yeah, and Kale makes you question your passions. Kale's a guy who, he's not a guy who has a lot of fluff. He's a guy who makes you really think about what you're doing and why you're doing it. And he even does it with me, with my companies. And every time we talk, he's kind of challenging me with why I'm doing what I do, and, kind of talking about intent. And it's cool to see that. And I saw, like you said, like, you guys weren't even just training. Like, you guys were out eating. You guys were out at the Jersey Shore. You were doing things. What was that like to be with someone who has those same goals as you, who's not in your room every day? It's not somebody at Penn State. It's not somebody you're training with year round, but it's somebody who you can meet up with, train. You share the same goals. And I got to imagine it kind of breathes fresh life into you to get that perspective from somebody else who you're not always around.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, now it's like, now we're like, okay, when are we doing this again? We had so much fun. It's like, when are we doing this again? You know what I mean? So like, I might go out there this weekend. I'm not sure. We got a lot of rules going on with the school and stuff like that.
Yeah.
About the testing and crap. But like, now we're planning on the next time, and now we're planning our, like, who else is gonna come, and we're already just looking for the future. Like, we just had so much fun, and he's working hard. I'm working hard. I'm showing him tricks. He's showing me his tricks, and like, it's just a good time. I think hanging around people with similar mindset I think it makes things so much better, because you don't always get that all the time.
No, and I think so many people's egos hurt them. And instead of getting better from somebody, they either hold on to a loss or, hey, man, this is competition next year and I can't be showing him this or that. But you've kind of got that perspective of iron sharpens iron. I mean, it's biblical. It's been around for a while now that iron does sharpen iron. You can get better. And, I'm curious too. One of the other things you've been doing that I've noticed to kind of grow your brand and have fun with is creating content. I mean, you're creating freaking content on a rooftop of a parking garage. What led to that drive to create more content and kind of be more active socially like you've been?
Yeah, I have a pretty decent following for me being where I'm at. I mean, I haven't really won much, but I think it's just I don't know if I'm gonna do something. I want to be a little bit different, add a little my own style to it, be a little wavy, and make other people want to have to top that. And I think I just enjoy. I have some friends back home that are big on the filming stuff, and he's like, if we're gonna do something, we gotta kill it. So like some of the videos on the rooftop and stuff
Yeah.
like that, like me running on the treadmill, like all that stuff, it was all planned and stuff, but, like, it's just, it's just to put that out there and, because there's just so much on social media that we just wanna one up people, so it's just being different, I don't wanna be the same, like on Twitter too, sometimes I'll just joke around and troll, that's just me being different, I literally get people fired up for no reason, like, I really don't care what's going on, you know what I mean? Like it's not that serious, but people just get the wrong concept and it's funny. But like all these people tweet at me when I start talking about little things, but you really think they're gonna get a tweet back? No, but it's just to get people fired up.
And there's a lot of people who I think they're on the edge of having a good personality and being able to create good content. And they don't for a plethora of reasons, whether it's, nervous for putting yourself out there, or one of the things that I've seen arguably the most is not wanting to get distracted from goals. Wrestling's such a hard sport. And I think at times wrestlers make it even harder, but it is a valid point to not want to get distracted and not get caught up in whether it's looking at social media, whether it's focusing on creating content. And this as well as probably anybody, you got to, when you're really starting to post a lot on social media to build a brand, you got to schedule stuff out. You got to really think about it. It takes time. How have you found a way to not get distracted and have fun and not take it too seriously, to where you kind of have the best of both worlds? You're putting out content, you're building your brand, but it appears on the surface, at least, you're not letting it distract you too much.
Yeah, because I mean, well, with this quarantine and all this stuff going on, and I'm around good people, so like I have people who help me out, person give me good, they like give
Yeah.
me good, give me good leads and stuff like that. But with this quarantine and virus going on, everyone has time. So like time, like especially when we were all on lockdown, I was thinking of videos. We were
Yeah.
already planning stuff, and there's no competition anytime soon. So what are you gonna get distracted from? Like you work out for 2 hours a day, being on social media, like it's not really a distraction. It's how you deal
Right.
with it. It's not like we're wrestling. Like if we're in season, leading up to nationals, Big Tens, all right, I'm off that stuff. I don't need to be on it.
Yeah.
But right now, there's like when I was getting ready for the Mueller match a week out, I really laid off of it. I posted when I had to because we had to post a couple times just to get the people pumping and like it just
Yeah.
says like to post this and stuff to so people can watch. But during that week, I stayed off of it, and that was it. It's not that hard to stay off of it. I just delete the apps off my phone. But other than that, like right now, this is the time when everyone's not doing anything, just to start trolling, grow your brand, and create content. And that's what I've been doing. Like that Logan Paul crap. I don't care about wrestling, but it was
Yeah.
stupid. Like I was like I'm gonna post double the piss out of you because it's just jokes. It's funny. What is that guy gonna do? You know what I mean?
Right. And
Yeah,
I mean, look, you had over like 600 retweets on that thing, right? And I
yeah,
think you have the
yeah,
mindset too to kind of ebb and flow with it. Like you don't have to do one thing, get stuck in that, which I feel like so many people do. They can't kind of go with the ebbs and flow of creating content. And, I'm doing with the podcast where some weeks I put out 3 episodes a week, other weeks it's one episode. And for you, it's like, hey, I have this downtime. Let me take advantage of it.
yeah.
And if come time for NCAA's, Big Tens, Olympic trials, whatever, I'm going to scale back and kind of go with the flow. Is that something you're constantly just thinking about? I know for me, I'm always thinking about, I want to make sure I'm doing what's best for the brand and putting out content and giving value and entertainment to people. But I constantly evaluate what's best for me. Right now, we're getting ready to, God willing, start building our house. So I've been a bit more quiet because I've had a lot to deal with. You, on the other hand, have had more time because you're not in competition, you're not doing things. Is that something you're just constantly evaluating, whether or not how much time you have and what you want to do with it?
No, not really. I mean, like today I was up. Like today I tweeted "win the day,"
Yep.
and I was just like, I was up at 6 this morning. I took melatonin last night, knocked out at like 9. I woke up. I did a hard treadmill workout, and I was like, I win the day. Let's win the day.
Yeah.
I got another workout in and stuff like that. But just things like that. I just tweet whatever comes to my mind at that moment. But no, I really just. I mean, it is like, there's not really nothing to look forward to right now. So why not just mess around on that stuff and just have fun? Because once they say college athletes can make some money, guess what? I'm already a step ahead. I'm ready to go. Let's do it. I got a brand. I got some followers. Let's stack up that money, because at the end of the day, that's what's gonna help me live good in the future. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, just stuff like that.
Yeah, and it makes sense too, right? Especially now, like you said, like you're not competing, you're not, you did the flow event, but aside from that, it's not like, the college season, this and the Olympic trials. And to that effect, like next year is such a weird year. You already have, I think it was Iowa State came out today and said, we're not wrestling to January 1st. You have the Olympic trials, you have all these things. Have you given much thought to exactly what your plan is, or are you still just in kind of I want to stay in shape mode?
Where I'm just, no matter what, I have no clue what's gonna go on next year, and like
Yeah.
I'm staying in shape no matter what. I work out daily. Like I don't really care if I'm wrestling or not. But well, like with all this stuff going on, it makes me like it's not even exciting to like I have nothing to look forward to. Like with football getting canceled, like right now I don't even think there's gonna be a season. So like I'm not even worried about.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm just like I'm right now. I'm just hoping for the worst. Like the way I see it is, I just saw tweet was North Carolina. They sent their kids back, and now they're all online within a week. And I have a feeling that's going to be Penn State. And like, I give it about a month, and we're all going to be sent back home. And it's just going to be a mess. So right now, I'm just not really focusing on that. I'm just controlling what I can control, and I'm just going to keep training and doing me. Pop out on Twitter, troll a little bit, and just keep living, because that's all I can do right now. You know what I mean? So like, I can't control. Get mad at stuff that I can't control. So there's a season. There's a season. If not, I mean, we already had the Nationals canceled. It can't get any worse than that. So,
For sure. And have you let go of that? Like, I imagine it's got to be such a hard thing. You were runner up at Big Tens, and you're as talented and as skillful as any guy in that weight class. And I like Rivera, Gross. I like these guys, but you're just as talented. You're just as skillful. And, there's a lot of different conversations about that. And I can't imagine as an athlete, like letting that go. You train so hard. Have you gotten to that point to where you're letting go of what happened and just focusing on the future now?
oh yeah, I'm over it. I mean, we can't go back now, but we'll see if it comes back and haunts me in the future. We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. And have you given much thought to what you want to do with the Olympic trials next year? Or have you
You
given any
know,
thought to it?
man, this senior nationals, I really want to make 57, but I'm such in the middle. It sucks. I really don't know, because like I'm a lean body. You know what I mean? Like
Well,
I don't have a lot.
Rivera's like 20 pounds heavier than you. I saw
Yeah,
the
if you
scale
saw that.
picture.
Yeah, yeah, it was funny after our first workout. That his dad's club's real nice in New Jersey. Shout out to them. They got some good kids in there. But yeah, we had a hard first workout, and it's hot in there, so we're just sweating. Step on the scale. I'm 138. He steps on the scale. He's 158. And it's like, wow, 20 pounds. Just imagine that. It's crazy.
How did you do against him with such a weight difference?
Honestly, it wasn't even we're not even trying to take each other out. He's just showing me his ankle pick, and we're play wrestling, just flowing. I'm jumping around. He's like, after wrestling, he's like, wow, you really got a good feel, stuff like that. We're just getting to the positions, and just different kind of positions, all kind of stuff, getting some good scrambles, and pretty much just moving the whole time, and just things like that. We're not looking to wrestle live. Like I don't think we went hard live once. We drill hard, but I mean that's about it. We're not trying to see who's better. I could care less if he's better, and plus he's a little bit bigger. But like we're not even in there to make a point. You know what I mean? We're just I'm teaching him how to flip out of doubles and stuff, and he's like, "Yo, this shit's fire!" Like he can add that into his. He's like, "Bro, all these tricks you guys mad cool." Like now he wants to start doing it, and then and just stuff like that. So now he's gonna add that to his arsenal, and I'm working on his like little hand fighting stuff. So we're just feeding off each other.
That's awesome, man. And Was that the same thing for other guys? Like, I know you're training with Mueller. I know Shane was there. Other guys, like, is that stuff you're doing? You're taking a bit from everybody's arsenal.
Well, yeah, well, Shane, we were just rolling around Shane. You know, he's solid. Shane's gonna be so good in college, and he's really tough. And then yeah, with
He's a
Mueller,
stud.
yeah, Shane's nice. And then yeah, same thing with Mueller. You know, we were just wrestling around. He was like, and I was like, I think when we were messing around, I was like, yeah, this is why I didn't shoot. 'Cause he had pinched me one. I was like, it's exactly why I didn't shoot at the end of the match. There's no need for me. And he was just laughing around, like we were just joking around, like it's all jokes and just things like that. And then we got to actually wrestle a little bit in some of the positions he's good at and stuff like that. And then we were drilling hard. So yeah, we were just filling each other out. And then he
Well,
was just
it's
showing me
funny
some
with
stuff.
Mueller because a lot of people were picking him to beat you. And I was vocal about the fact that I like Mueller a lot. And I had him on this podcast. It was a great conversation. But I said, I think RBY is just too much to handle for him. And people were mentioning the fact that he beat Piccinini like 10-0 in no time and beat the streets. And I think when you went out there and all of a sudden here you win this match 8-1, and it's like, what just happened? And I'm like, I told you guys this was going to happen. I like Mueller, but what was your perspective going into that match? Like, he does have those crazy freestyle moves like that head pinch and other things that he's capable of. Were you purposely trying to avoid that?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I obviously everyone knows what he's good at, so my game plan is stay out of that, and then just move my feet, man. If I can just move my feet and just get moving, I'm getting better at hand fighting. You know, going with Gilman every day, I'm getting a little bit more physical in those hand fights. So once I start adding it all together, I think I think I'd be a lot better than I've been. But yeah, if I'm just moving my feet, dancing around, you know, a lot of people can't really get their hands on me, so I just gotta find my rhythm out there. But yeah, you know, I just had to stay out of his positions, and luckily I came out on top. But yeah, no, it was fun though. He helped me a lot. I trained hard for that match. I really wanted to win because just because I was going out there putting on the show for free, so I'm not trying to lose.
Right. And you mentioned another guy who I love, Gilman. I am
Yeah.
such a Gilman fan. And, I'm even more of a Gilman fan now that he's in the Nittany Lion room. What is it like having him at Penn State? I mean, I know that everything hasn't been kind of normal as it normally is, where you probably see him even more, but what's it like having him in State College?
Yeah, you know, it's awesome. He's a cool ass dude. Sometimes I think people on the outside really don't know how of a cool
Yep.
and nice guy he is. He's awesome. You know, he helps me a lot. And I mean, I don't know if I help him, but I try to give him the feel he wants. We'd be scrapping in there. And yeah, he's good. That's my pick right there for the Olympic team right there. I'm supportive of him. I think he's good. I'm like, I wrestle him. I'm just like, wow, I don't know how anyone else. I'm like,
What happens when you guys wrestle?
I mean, I always try the crazy stuff. He's just like solid hand fighting, stay in position. Sometimes I get away with it, and sometimes he just hand fights me to death. But yeah, you know, it's awesome. I need that kind of stuff. I give him the speed and the scrambles. He gives me the stinginess, attitude, and do.
And he's such a great guy because he does bring something different than so many people do. He's that guy who brings a different flair to the room. And I've heard multiple stories, and he's told me some stories of what he does in the room and kind of helping people. And when he came on the podcast, he was telling me about how much he wants to help others. And whether it's a guy like you who
Yeah.
has an NCAA title in front of him still to try to win, and younger guys, he wants to do that. Have you noticed that with him, that there's an element of like he wants to be that Coach Gilman?
Oh, 100%. Like we've clicked off pretty good. Anytime I get my chance to go with him, I'm like, yo, you trying to go? Yo, yo, yo. Like we put in extra little sit ups and stuff. And I mean, I'm not gonna tell him I look up to you, but yo, I look up to him a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he knows that. You know, all those guys. I think Ninny Line just has so many different kind of people that you can just pick their brains and just look up to. That's why I love it so much. But yeah, I look up to Gilman a lot. That dude, he's a savage. I love the crap. I love that crap.
Yeah, he's the man. I'm probably gonna head down to State College. We got a sitting coffee meeting that I can't wait to pick his brain on some stuff
Yeah.
offline, off the air, off text messages, off
Yep.
everything. So awesome, man. Last thing here before I let you go. You've had a busy couple of months training in California at the training lab, training in Jersey with Rivera, wrestling the flow card. Coming up these next couple of months, everything obviously is so crazy up in the air right now. But what do you got coming up? what do you got going on that people can look forward to and follow you along for?
I'm just gonna keep trolling on Twitter and posting some good content on Instagram, and just gonna do what I can do. I'm just gonna be training all the time, get as much work as I can, and just keep trying to involve with the sport. But other than that, I mean, I think Fight TV's have another card. I'm not sure if I can hop on that, but I'm down to wrestle anyone anytime if there's another card or anything that's coming up. But yeah, I'm already getting a little bored, so
I was just
I'm down
thinking
to do
that, like,
whatever.
as you're talking, it's funny how hungry you're staying. And I know that a lot of wrestlers are hungry now because they're not competing. And this is as long as a lot of you high-level wrestlers have taken off the mat. What is it that's keeping you so hungry right now? Is it that you're not wrestling? Is it a renewed sense of you don't know what you got till it's gone, where we're kind of losing some of our liberties right now, or freedoms, or things we're used to?
Yeah, I think it's just that, like, there's just so much, like, we just don't know what's gonna happen. Like I said, like,
Yeah.
I'm just I'm just I'm just expecting the worst at this point. So like, if there's a season, that's a blessing. If there's not, then I'm just like, I think you're right. Yeah, we just don't know what happens until it's gone. I think that's a big
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go enjoy the night and plan some content. Thank you for hopping on here for a few minutes. I'm sure it won't be the last time. And everybody listening, go follow him. He is posting some of the most awesome content. If you're a wrestling fan, I don't care if you're 3 years old, 30 years old, or 70 years old, you will enjoy the content. Follow him on Twitter, Instagram. Are you on Facebook yet? Do you have a Facebook page? You got to make one.
Yeah, I got a Facebook page. It's not too big yet, but I got a regular Facebook. But I'll accept anyone.
Yeah. All right. So go add him on there. RBY, thank you, man. We will chat soon.
Let's do it.
And that is it for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. If you did enjoy this episode of the podcast, be sure to leave a 5-star rating review on Apple Podcasts, and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on more episodes. For more wrestling content, be sure to follow Baschamania on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and follow me. I'm at JBash on Instagram and at JustinJBash on Twitter. I'll be back with another episode shortly. See ya.
And the beat goes on.